Hello, hello, good morning. Welcome back to this week's Ask an Attorney segment with Mike Kuna here from Kuna Law Firm PLLC. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning.
All right, so this week's question is, Mr. Kuna, I had a major accident on Friday and I'm still in the hospital. The road was really slippery and some lady hit me in the back while I was standing at a red light, and now I have a major back injury. What should I do? Can you please meet me at the hospital?
Well, first, of course, I can meet you in the hospital. It would not be the first time I'm meeting somebody in the hospital. I meet clients all over. Sometimes I meet clients at jail, and sometimes, like in Jillian's case, I meet them in a news station.
There you go.
Look, car accidents are horrible. We all live in North Dakota. We all know what it means. Slippery roads. A bunch of people coming back from Arizona, and they drive as if they're still in Arizona. The problem is, because of the ice, if people don't stop on time, there are a bunch of car collisions happening, and I've received many of these phone calls in the last few weeks. When a car collision happens, usually what we have in North Dakota is called the no-fault rules, meaning we are a no-fault jurisdiction in which if a car accident happens to you, you can simply call your own insurance company to cover your expenses. However, they will not cover car damages, and the threshold to cross in order to not do it and file a more serious lawsuit that can bring in much bigger compensation is very low, meaning that if the medical bills that occurred as a result of the incident have been beyond $2,500, you can get out of the no-fault jurisdiction, and then you can file a more serious lawsuit for the damages of the vehicle as well as your own medical bills and loss of wages and etc. and such. Now let's imagine that Jillian is the one who was at the red light in her car.
Okay.
Jillian, you were injured and your back hurts a lot, okay?
Okay.
But Jillian also makes $1.2 million a year, remember?
That's right. Carried over.
You should start donating to charity.
That's a very good advice, yes.
Clearly. Now let's think of the following circumstances. Jillian has been in the hospital for 4 days by now with a bad back, which means clearly her medical bills are way beyond and far above $2,500. And unfortunately, this is the reality of this day and age. Medical bills are very expensive. Also, her car is damaged too. So here we need to follow the next analysis for this case. In North Dakota, the statute of limitations for an accident of that sort is 6 years. So Jillian has to file a lawsuit within 6 years. Clearly, Jillian has plenty of time to file the lawsuit, right?
Yes, yep,
And
for sure.
prepare and go through those very medical bills that hurt her so much. In Jillian's lawsuit, she'll be able to ask for compensation both for the medical bills and for the loss of wages, as well, of course, as the damage to her vehicle. However, we need to remember that the threshold is 6 years. If any time passes afterwards, the court is highly unlikely to accept that lawsuit unless you were kidnapped by aliens. In my lifetime, I haven't seen the court accept any lawsuits of that sort. Maybe there are some very random instances, but it usually doesn't happen. In accordance with North Dakota's rules of responsibility, what will happen is that the jury will not only see and had to calculate the sum of money that the other person owes Jillian, they will also have to determine whether Jillian was partially at fault. And if Jillian was at fault, part of that compensation will be deducted. However, if Jillian was more than 50% or more at fault, she may not get compensated at all in accordance with our rules in North Dakota. We also have to remember that these are very complex legal issues because we have a ton of medical documents and they change and vary because different people make different amounts of money and different wages, and as such these cases can vary in amounts that are overwhelming. Call me directly. Let's speak about this issue in length. 701-404-7768.
Well, it's incredible because we do get some common questions, legal questions that we get here, especially just in the area. But every time you explain it wonderfully, perfectly, and I always learn something.
Thank you.
Yes, of course. If you have a legal question you'd like to ask, you can go to our website at valleynewslive.com and click on the Ask an Attorney tab. We have lots more North Dakota Today coming up right after the break.